Girl, I sure was talking. Can you hear me now? Alrighty, I do apologize. Okay, guess I gotta start all over. This is Caron, your independent demonstrator in Austin, Texas, and I have my little moniker. I am calling myself the ATX Stamping Lady. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a little Saturday stamping in the craft room with Caron. And today, you guys, what I'm sharing with you is a new feature that I'm doing in my store. Perfect. Glad you can hear me. What I'm doing in my store is new for me now is every month I'm going to go live with you, and I'm going to present a free card that I'm going to create, and you'll be able to get this the kit to create this card now, with a qualifying order in my Stampin' Up online store. What's a qualifying order, you might ask? Well, as long as you spend $35 or more pre-tax or shipping in my online store, I will send you a card kit, and it'll look something like this. It'll be an envelope, and it'll have all the parts and pieces. Now, nothing can be stamped, but I will send you a card kit to recreate this card. Now, I'm creating a special playlist that you will be able to refer back to at any time to get the measurements or how to create the card that we're making today. More than likely, I will not do a PDF tutorial. If I do, unfortunately, the PDF tutorial will cost about $15. But so you'll just have to refer back to the playlist to see how to create the card once you get the card kit. All right, so a couple of admin things. You know, we always take care of admin things before we jump right into crafting. You guys, I would love to welcome, I have a new subscriber. She only signed in saying Mary. So Mary, thank you and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy all of the products and projects that I create for you, and that you'll join me live at some point or time and craft with me as we move along. To my returning subscribers or my returning Stampin' friends, you guys, thanks for joining me. And as always, let's have fun being creative, and let's just be happy stamping. All right, so the next thing, let me share with you the paper pumpkin. Paper pumpkin for this month is the With Love and Gratitude. For September, the subscription period ends on September 11th, so we do have 9 more days that you can subscribe. And of course, you see the subscription link on the graphic. But you guys, with the kit, you get 8 treat packages and 8 note cards with envelopes. That's what the kit will create for next month. Now, you also have this add-on. You're able to purchase this planner separately. You have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get this planner. Now, this planner is $15 in the online store. And again, like I said, you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber to get it. So you'll get 2 pages of these pre-cut, laser cut die elements. They already have a little sticky on the back. And then it is just you also get this little clip right here. It's a cute little clip. And you have your pages that you can create your journal. Now, I don't know about you as far as journaling, but you can use this for, I don't know, make notes about what cards you want to make. Just jot your thoughts, use it for your daily motivation, meal planning if you have to. But so many uses for this product. And this again is the journal. It is an add-on to the September Paper Pumpkin kit, and it is while supplies last. So if this is something that you're interested in, you have to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, and then you can order it. I think I might get another one just to make sure that I have something else. I'm not sure yet. All right, so the other thing, let's see what else we got to share with you. I have extended my paper share. My paper share ended, time to reserve your slot ended on the 31st, but I have decided to go ahead and extend that to the 5th. I'm going to be ordering, oh, not there, sorry about that. There we go. I'm gonna enter the catalog goes live on September 6th, so I will be ordering all of the papers necessary to create the shares, plus as well as the additional items. If you're interested in signing up to the paper share, please do so by September 5th, because I will be ordering what I need to order, and I need to know how much I need to order by the 5th. Okay. On that note, I think that's all. Oh, one more thing. You guys, September host code. If you're seeing any of the products that I'm using tonight that you see that you would love to be able to use and recreate with, use my host code for orders of $149 or less. And you will be entered into the drawing. Now, I didn't have any shoppers last month, so there's no drawing. But as always, I do a drawing if there are shoppers. I want to share with you, if you joined me last Thursday, if you joined me on Thursday for Case the Caddy, you would have seen that we created 2 cards using the Seaside Bay stamp set. I love this card. I love these cards. This was my favorite, actually, come to think of it, right? But I'm going to put a little link to this video if you wanted to pop over and take a look at our Case the Caddy in the craft room from last Thursday. All right, what are we making today? So you'll see it. If you signed up for my newsletter or on my blog, which I haven't posted yet, you will see in there the sketch inspiration for the month. So this is going to be our card kit for the month. So I'm going to share with you how to create this card. And I had my parts and pieces in the envelope, and I put it somewhere. And just like that, it disappeared. Nope, here it is. All right. So what are we going to need to recreate this card? We're going to need a card base, and our card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. You're going to need a piece of designer series paper. I'm sorry, this is our very vanilla cardstock, and this is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is going to be on the inside of our card. You're going to need a piece of Coastal Cabana that is 2 3/4 by 5.5, and another piece of very vanilla that is 2.5 by 5.5. And then I cut a piece of Tranquil Tide, and I've already pre-cut them, and my Tranquil Tide piece was 2.5 by 11, and I punched out the coordinating dies for the inked and tile bundle. I cut out the pieces that I needed, and I have another piece just in case I need extras or any additional ones. So this is all what we needed to create the card today. And I'm gonna need another piece of very vanilla scrap for my sentiment. Okay, so this is what you'll get in your kit. This will all be pre-punched for you. Nothing can be stamped because in accordance with Stampin' Up rules and policies, I cannot send you any stamped images. So if you have the inked and tiled stamp set, great. If not, you can use whatever it is, whatever stamp set you have to recreate this project. Okay? So let's get started. And this is going to be a little tricky. And it's going to only be tricky because we're going to have to add a little bit of dimension on both of these, right? So what we're going to do, and this is, we're going to need a precision glue tip on this one, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive, and we need 2 of these, 2 of the X's. I'm going to put a strip of adhesive right just down the center, okay? And I'm only adding it in the center because I really just want to give a little bit of dimension to the card, making sure that everybody's even all the way around, lined up, I'm going to press that in place. Okay. I'm going to let it dry. So there's one. I'm going to need another one. Oops, I'm going to need to punch another. We can see that. I need one of these to do the same. But what I'm going to do with this before I do that is I'm going to find the center and I'll just put it right here on the scoreboard and make sure it's lined up tip to tip. And I'm going to I'm going to score right down the middle. Oops. To make sure this is evenly, okay. We might need that again, so let's put that away. And then we're just going to fold it, and this time we're going to fold it that way. And now again, just going to make sure I put a little bit of adhesive right on the center. Then I'm going to line it up, center to center. Make sure everything is aligned. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to need one of these. I'm going to cut in half. And then I need, oh, I do have two more. Nope, that's one. I do need one more punched. So when you get your kit, you'll have four of the squares or the X's. You'll have four of the stars. Now when you get your kit, your color, my color scheme might change just a bit, but you will get the same things to recreate this card. It might just be a different color palette, okay? All right, so we have two there. We have this one, and this we're gonna cut in half. I'm gonna bring out a long snips because if I have to do my long scissors, because if I have to do cut, I'm gonna make sure it's probably gonna end up being a little bit jagged. So I want to be able to do this in one go. Okay. One go. There we go. All right. So we've got our parts and our pieces as far as our little guys are concerned. So now we'll move on to the rest of the card. So on this 2.5 piece, I'm going to grab, I just had my stamp set. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, the more I try to be organized, the worse I get. I'm not kidding about that. So we're gonna need a piece. We're gonna need, oops, the largest floral image, and I'm gonna bring out my Stamparatus. And the reason I'm gonna bring out the Stamparatus on this one, you guys, is because, or you can do your Misty if you have a Misty. And my Misty just happens to be sitting right here. And I'm knocking everything all over here, y'all. Because of the coloring method that I'm going to use, I'm going to need to, I want to be able to add more color if I need to, and I need for it to be in the same spot all the time. So I'm going to remove all of that. I'm going to go in with this, keep that in the corner. Actually, I'm going to make this about a 1/4 inch from the corner. I'm going to go straight to the top, or as much to the top as possible. I gotta find my magnet here. And I'm looking for the magnets because I'm not putting it right in the corner. So I do want to make sure that it can always go back. Even though I know in my brain it's a 1/4 inch from the corner, I still want to be able to make sure. So I'm going to just put the magnet in here, just to be on the safe side, okay? All right. So what I'm going to do, I used Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to grab my Pretty Peacock Stampin' Right marker. And now I need my, I'm going to go with the Coastal Cabana. Sorry, my Calypso Coral, if I can find it, marker. I told you guys, if I prep as much as I say I'm going to. So these are all my Stampin' Right markers. Perfect. All right, so how I'm going to color this. And this is why I'm leaving it in, I wanted to use a Misty or something of that nature because I'm coloring it with the marker. And because I am, if it's not as light or as dark as I want for it to be, I want, if I'm gonna re-stamp it, then I stamp it with the same, it's in the same place every single time. Okay. I think that's kind of good. Let's add the Calypso Coral and see what we think about that. That's called a huffing technique. Oh yeah, I want to add a little bit more on that one. And this is precisely why I chose to use a stamp positioner, because if you're gonna add more color to it, you want it to be a little bit darker. It just helps if it's all in the same spot. Perfect. I don't think I want this to be any darker, so I'm happy with that. Okay. These magnets are like so strong, y'all. So we can take this out. Let's put this away. Awesome. So that's the first thing that we did. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mat this on our 2 3/4 by 5.5 cardstock. Now, they're both the same lengths. They're just a 1/4 inch. It's just a 1/4 inch bigger, which means it's about an eighth of an inch on each side. So we're going to go ahead and add that. So in this particular instance, the only thing we need to make sure is that our sides are equidistant, or as equidistant as we can on both sides. Okay. Perfect. All right. Next thing we're going to do, and before we add that on, I'm going to add the inside of my card. Get that done. And on this one, I think I'm going to do the same thing. I moved my, whatchamacallit though. Going to color it the same way. That I did before. I think I just made a mess. That's why we have two sides, y'all. That's why we have two sides. And we could even use that. Look at that. That's just a hint of color. I kind of like it that soft. We did not make a mistake. So we're just going to press this down just a little bit more. Make sure we have a little bit more transfer of color. And we have stamped on the inside of our card. And cleaned our stamp at the same time. How do you like them apples? All right. Now, if we're going to do an inside sentiment, now would be the time to do it as well. And let's see what I got for an inside sentiment. What are we going to do for an inside sentiment? I had not thought about that. And this is one decision you'll of course have to make, and I may make that a little bit later, okay? But we're going to go ahead and add the basic, the very vanilla to the inside of the card. Try to line it up. Make sure it's even Stevens, and the inside of our card is complete. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now, just going to burnish this fold a little bit more. And we've got a full quarter inch from our corner that we need to place this, right? So this is what we're going to do. All right, we're going to line this up 1/4 inch. Okay, and we can even use these lines, these grid lines, y'all. That's what they're for. Lining things up. And to add that right like that. Okay. Perfect. All right, so the next thing we're going to end up doing is we're going to lay some stuff out, right? Because this is here where we want things to be. So for our project, we have, yeah, let's bring this up. Got just a little bit of a lift on both sides. My adhesive must have come out a little, smooshed a little bit. So we're going to make sure that as the central point, here's what I need to do, because when I tell you guys that I really cannot do anything in a straight line, I'm not kidding. So I'm going to grab a piece of something to help me line things up. Now this is my cutting plate. So I know that I want this guy to be right here. And then once I have laid this one in place, then I'll try to line everything else up against that. Okay, as far as alignment. Okay, if you have a ruler, you can use a ruler. All right, make sure it's straight line there and straight line here. Okay, seems straight to me. Looks straight, right? I hope it's straight, y'all. All right, so now we have this, and we're gonna use whatever lines we have that we can line this up. So we have this grid line to that grid line, so everything should align bottom to bottom that way. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to do the same thing to this side. Kind of give it a little bit of a lift. Little bit of a lift. And it doesn't need to be anything drastic, just a little bit of a lift. And then we're going to line these up. We're just going to make sure that they're nested. You can leave a little bit of room in between them, or you can butt them right up against each other. Either one is fine. And then we're going to press it in place. Let that adhesive sink right in there. Okay. Then we're going to grab the next one, do the same thing. Give it a little bit of a lift. Like so. Give it a little bit of a lift. Yesterday was an awesome day, you guys. So yesterday was team building day at the office. And we chose for our team building day to go out and have lunch and then go watch a movie. So we went to one of my favorite places. Oh my gosh, Cheesecake Factory. I love that place. And we just got to know each other. I mean, we played some games, some team building games, which we all enjoyed. All right, so now that we're here, we can see exactly what we need to do with this guy, right? And then we went to see the movie, The Equalizer. Oh, anybody else a Denzel Washington fan besides me? I absolutely love that man. And we had this whole discussion yesterday. It was really ridiculous that he's one of the very few actors in Hollywood. I have never seen this man take his clothes off in a movie, not his shirt off, nothing. And I think he's still one of the most handsome men that I've ever seen. He is just the bomb. He does not have to do any of that stuff to be a leading man. He just does it. Okay. I hope this is all even because this seems to be. And then this one is down. Okay. All right. So we're going to let all that stuff dry a little bit before we get to messing with it and trimming anything off. But those guys are done and in place. And then the next thing we want to do is we're going to punch our sentiment out, or stamp and punch our sentiment. And I have a scrap piece of Very Vanilla right here. And we're going to do Hello Friend. That's our sentiment today. Now, when you get this kit, you will have these punch pieces. So your sentiment, of course, will have to size-wise unless you decide to change that out, okay? But your sentiment will have to be able to fit on a piece this size. And this is a this is like a 1 and a little bit less than a quarter, a little bit less than 1 1/4 piece square that sentiment is placed on. Okay, all right, so now I'm looking for my ink pad. I'm changing my color, so I'm gonna just do black. Yeah, I'm just gonna do black. I know I did a different color in the photo or in the picture, but I'm just gonna do black. I mean, black is like my go-to for everything anyway, so. And then I'm just gonna punch this out. Trying to make sure it's lined up. Here we go. Punch our sentiment out. And we're just going to adhere it right in the middle. So when you're adhering these, you want the point obviously to the top, and so you want to make sure you're going to line it up in between the points of one of the points. Whichever one you choose is fine, but you're just going to make sure to line it up in between the points, okay? So that means all the other points should be aligned as well, okay? So keep that in mind when you are aligning your stamped sentiment. Okay. Tell ya, these I love my little pointed, my little precision tips, but man, you gotta put that little stopper back in there like almost immediately. Yeah. All right. Now let's get to lining this up. So again, lining up points to point. So everybody has to line evenly between a point for this to be a good layered effect. Okay, and there we go. Perfect. Grab us some dimensionals. Oops. How many dimensionals do you think I'm going to use, y'all? How many do you think I'm going to use? Well, it's going to be 6, or it's going to be 5, right? But generally, I would put 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. So totally, in total, I would probably use about 8, but I'm trying to be smart. I'm trying to be smart. All right. So here we go. We're just going to add this right here. Again, I'm going to use my grid lines just to make sure that it's lined up. And even if at least 1 or 2 points are lined up, then we can rest assured that when we put this on there, it should be somewhat even. Somewhat. Okay. Perfect. Now all we got to do is snip some stuff off, and this card is practically finished. Except for our, just snip our edges off, our overhanging, like that, and then like that. So when I send you this kit, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send it to you intact. You're gonna get to cut however you want for it to be cut. You'll get to cut it, but I'm gonna send it to you intact. And so you have a little bit of texture and a little bit of dimensions on your card when you send it. Okay. So now the last thing for me to do is add some bling. And I know we just got, did I bring them in here? Yes. Part of the new catalog, I think it's in the new catalog, is this metallic enamel effect basics. It's a whole bunch of copper. There's rose gold. This one's copper, there's gold, and then there's silver in the basics. And this is what I'm going to use today. When I send it to you, you're going to get some metallic enamel dots that you can use on however you choose for this project. So 1, 2, and I observe the rule of 3 when or rule of odds, I think is what more than likely what it's called, rule of odds, when I am creating. All right, you guys, so here you have it. This is the card kit for the month of September. I hope you'll enjoy it. So how do you get this kit for free? When you make a purchase in my online store of $35 or more before tax and shipping, I will definitely send you this kit for you to create this project. And then you'll have a label on it with the date, so that way you'll know when you come back to the video what date you should look for, or what playlist you should look for in creating the card. Now, even though I just did that, I'm just going to add a little bit more bling on here. Just because I like bling and I like things to sparkle. Thank you, Cheryl. And I'm just going in with the Wink of Stella brush pen, and I'm just running it across. That way we have a little bit of shimmer on the card. So that's it, you guys. Again, this was just to show you how to create the kit of the month for September, and it is featuring the inked and tiled bundle. All the parts and pieces will be sent to you emailed or in the mail. So when you do make your order, please make sure that you don't say that you don't want to share your information with me. That's the only way. Thank you, Yvonne. That's the only way you'll get the kit, is if I have an email address or not an email, a mailing address that I can send it to you at. Okay. So on that note, you guys, thanks for joining me. I am thinking about going live on my Facebook group this evening. Not sure yet. We'll see what's going on. But more than likely, I will share that with you. So hop on over to my Facebook page later on tonight and see if I'm going live there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share my video. And until next time, thanks for popping in the craft room with Caron, and I'll see you next time.